Hey guys, welcome back to the Purple Guinea Art Studio. My name is Sherry and I am your art encourager. There's an inner artist within all of us. Don't be afraid. Pick up that brush, charcoal pencil, regular pencil, pen, grab some Q-tips, anything, craft paint, acrylic, oil, watercolor, gouache. The world is yours. Don't be afraid to try. You'd be surprised. When I encourage people, I like to do so by using shapes. So that is how I usually teach a class, is by using shapes. And then we progress into color. But today we're going to be doing something that I've done before for you guys, and it's finding what's on that canvas that is used by that's gotten by putting paints that's been left over on the palette from the student from the previous day or even a few days prior. And you wonder, well, how can you save paint that's left on a palette? Well, there's several ways. One way is to use an Everwet palette. But if you don't have an Everwet palette, you can make one by putting a thin layer of paper towels, 2 or 3 paper towels, moistening those with water. And this is going to be in a resealable container, similar to this. Then you can put some wax paper, you can put parchment paper over the top of those dampened paper towels, and you can put your acrylic paints on there, and that will, then when you get finished for the day, put the lid on it, and it will keep for several days. If you think it's going to be a little longer, go ahead and spray that with a little mister or with a little spray bottle. And also what I use these little handy-dandy things for, when you get all the paint you can out of a tube, you squeeze it until you cannot squeeze it anymore. There's still more in there. Look at all the paint that's in there. Just loads of paint. So what I do is I get my little trusty cheap container. I moisten a wet towel. Now that's, let me try that again. I moisten a paper towel. I wet it. I put it in the bottom. I cut those tubes open, and I can use this. This has been in here almost a week. So I get every little drop I can out of my acrylic paints. And if a tube of watercolor, if you're using watercolor tubes that have dried up, that's still water soluble. You can cut those open, and you can wet your brush, and you can use those watercolors just like you would in a watercolor palette. Okay, so we are going to find what's hidden in this. Do you see anything? Well, strangely enough, I'm looking at this, and I'm even seeing this now and seeing this. I went in, and because I had some purple, so I went in and added some purple that I had after I posted this on Facebook, the photograph. But this is for my YouTubers, so I am going to start with these colors. Now, this is an old microwave glass, whatever you want to call it, plate, and I use this a lot. And you can, when you get through with your paint on this, you can cover this with a piece of plastic, and it will last as well. Okay, so this is phthalo blue right here. I want you to see the difference in these blues. This is phthalo blue, and next to the phthalo blue is an ultramarine blue, and next to the ultramarine blue, I wanted to make sure I got that right. Ultramarine blue is a cerulean blue. Now, I had ordered some cobalt blue, and to me, this is not a true cobalt. When I think of cobalt, I think of something a little darker, well, a lot darker than that. So there's some different hues of blues, and this is I want to say it's a sea green, ocean green. These are all Master's Touch paints, acrylics, and then up in the corner here is a permanent red, which is a good red. It's like it's a rosier red. It has a little more blue in it. And there's my big blob of white that I shook out, and there's that leftover purple. And you see where I've scraped this off with the palette knife to start again. So here we go, guys. Hold on as I move you in. Some people have these kind of fancy electric things. Not me. Everything is by hand and winging it. I'm a winger, and it is okay to be one. This is a 12 by, that's a 10 by 10, a 10 by 10 stretched canvas. And you can see that I have really, it's just been globbed on there, and I've used crunched up paper and just anything and everything, and just went wild with it. So what I am seeing here is uniquely, and I often see, I don't know if it's because I have that, it's this time of year or what, but I'm seeing a bouquet of flowers, and the flowers that I'm seeing happen to be, oops, let me get this hair fixed, happen to be hydrangeas. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to lay in anything, I'm going to start painting around anything that does not look like a hydrangea. Now hydrangeas they're white, they're pink, they're blue, they're purple, and everything in between. So I'm going to get some of that red. I have a paper towel. Oh, and let me tell you, I forget. I get so excited about what I'm doing, I neglect to mention what I need to. Okay, this little brush right here is an angular brush. I use that a lot when I'm doing these paint out. And it's I would say it's a 1/2 inch angular brush. I like the longer wooden brushes. Okay, so I'm getting some of that red, and I'm going in for some of that phthalo blue, and that makes a very deep purple. So then I'm going to get a little bit of that white and mix in, just so you can see. I'm just putting a little bit. When I mix, I bring some over to another area. So see, that gives you a lavender. So just by using something that you would have on hand, blue and red, you're getting a light purple. If you wanted it more red, more of a deeper red like this, you'd add a little more red. If you want a little more blue, you'd add a little more blue. See, now that gives you like a little periwinkle. So don't be afraid, just practice too, mixing colors, because that's also a lot of fun. So I am wiping off this brush because now I've mixed all kinds of, I don't want red streaks to come out. And I am going to, I wipe my brush and then I rinse it. So here we go. I'm going to start laying in, and I'll do it with a darker. Ooh, see, now there's a little dark right there. So why not hydrangea is 4 little petals. So why not just start laying in those little petals and just jump from one to the other, because they're not going to be all the same color. So and to lay in a petal, I'm just bringing down and pulling up, bringing down and pulling up. You know, that I could use this little filbert, a size 8 filbert, and it might do a little. I dampen it with acrylics. If you dampen your brush, it'll hold more. So let's use this little filbert. Maybe that'll give us a better, yes, that's our little petal that we need. I'm going to do this one in white so you can see, and then I'll go back over it. A hydrangea has 4 little petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just touching and bringing back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I chose hydrangeas when I saw this because I saw these purples peeking out. And I loved it. And I thought, oh my goodness, one of my dearest friends mentioned hydrangeas yesterday as a thing to do. And when I saw this morning, I thought, oh, there's the hydrangeas right there. Okay. And a special shout out to some friends in Florida that watch us on YouTube. And I say us, I feel like we're all painting here together. And also, we have some in Virginia and some in Georgia. So shout out to all of you guys. Okay. I'm glad you're watching. Seeing I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm not going to do this all over. But look how, don't you just love how the background is peeking through back behind those? I do. Kind of mixing some more red with this blue. And I'm just coming in and I'm just putting little bits You don't have to do all of them 1, 2, 3, 4. And, you know, you guys that know me know that I'm a counter. There's probably a psychological reason for that. But we're all in this together. So here, I hope you have as much fun as I do on these days. I surely do. Okay, so see, I want to leave a lot of this background showing because that's very interesting to me. Okay, so we're still just doing, and this is just brush strokes. I'm just putting it on there and pulling it toward the center. Putting it and pulling it, pulling it, pulling it. Putting and pulling. Okay, let me get in that white a little bit. Okay, now and on the top right here it will be a little lighter. We'll have to decide later where our sun comes from. But now that can be one complete hydrangea. Now under a hydrangea they have stalky, woodsy stalks. As it gets closer to the base of the plant. But I'm going to mix, I'm bringing some of this medium. I should have told you too, I'm using this yellow medium. Yellow medium. See all that good stuff still left in there? Yellow medium. And I'm going to make some stalks. I'm mixing some of that with blue. I just want a few little stalks coming in there. There, and I will come back over and darken these, but I want them to show up where they're coming from right now for you guys. So now I'm wiping that again. Okay, I'm going to go over here. Let's do something with like a little pink to it, because these can be on the same bush. I know you've seen the hydrangea. Plus these are going to be in a vase. Let's see, here's some pink. Let's do around this pink here and see. Oh, isn't that cute? And some are going to be darker. And I don't even have to count. I can just kind of just do petals here and there. You know, you don't really even have to worry about your 1, 2, 3, 4. Just every now and then get one that you can tell that it's 4 petals. And it will give your mind the illusion that they all are. You'll have to let me know, guys, which one is your favorite. Also, hydrangeas are in kind of a round. They're a round shape. The bouquet itself is a round shape. When my girlfriends and I were young, little girls, we would get these and we would play wedding. And one of those precious, precious girlfriends she's in the hospital right now. So, Diane, this one's with thoughts of you, and I pray that today is a good day. Okay, so there's another hydrangea. So let's see. I'm liking that pink. We're going to have to put something right here, and there's going to be a little something right here. You know I'm going to have to do a bouquet of 3 or 5, because I do things in odd numbers. And when you're painting something, it's good to do it in odd numbers anyway. It's more pleasing to the eye. Guys, you hear my little fur baby in here. She's not real happy because she is not out there on the tractor with my husband. Okay, so here, let's do another tiny little bit right here. This will be a little one. We can make it mostly white. And it can be just kind of peeking through, because our vase or pot or whatever's going to be there. Now I want to put something right up there, but let me look at this. I'm kind of liking the pink, but I really want my pink over here. Grace, I know it's rough, isn't it, baby? So I will this will just be a huge bouquet. How about that? Artist license. See, guys, you don't have to. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. She wants me to do something. No, ma'amsy. That's what makes it real. That's what makes it real. I love it. Out here in the studio, she has things that other dogs would think, oh my goodness, that's so nice to be occupied and play out there, but not her. That's her way of saying, I am the boss. She thinks she's the boss of me, but she's not the boss of me. She may be the boss of the man of the house, but she's not the boss of me. Okay, now I'm going to do a blue one over here. The blue hydrangeas are, to me, the prettiest. They were the most common in my childhood. And I'm using that really pretty phthalo blue. And I'm dipping in a little white. It's kind of hard to see right there on this background we've got going on. So I'm putting a little highlights in that white. Oh, that just reminds me of being at Nana's. Did you guys have, or do you have a Nana? That's what I had, was a Nana. And she had beautiful hydrangeas in her yard. Special, special times. Okay. Now I've got to see if that's how rounded that is. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we've got 5. I am going to jump in on this. Now, do I want a vase or do I want a... I think let's go with the vase. Okay, let's see. I see something right here that looks like a vase. Maybe right there is, how is that looking? I love to try to do a clear vase. And see, we covered up those stalks completely. I'm just going to lay some in there just a little bit. Okay, there's my vase. And oh, I love that. The colors. Guys, you know, it's time for me to start getting excited when I get to this point. Oh, yeah, I love that. Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, now that is going to be my vase. Now we've got to do something to quieten this background out. All of the background. Look, what is this hair doing? There we go. Okay, so I think I will come in. Oh, that's just a happy color right there. Let's just come in with that color and cut in around everything almost. And I'm not really doing a lot of thinking about this because I want it to be kind of a roughness. I don't even know what color that is. That was a little bit of that. It's just a little bit of whatever I have stirred up on this palette is what it is. I know, Grace. It's so hard being a little girl puppy. It is. She's a Jack Russell and she's very vocal. Very vocal. Very vocal. I'm going to do her like I used to do the kids when they would keep saying, you know, can I? I'm just going to kind of ignore that. Okay, so I'm putting a little bit of that color in there so that I can have a little bit of background showing through. Let's see, how's that look? I'll check in and see how that looks there every now and then. Okay, now we've got to think of something for this bottom. I'm liking a lot of this dark that's in there. I'm thinking I'm going to mix up some dark, dark ultramarine blue. If it's not bothering you, it's not bothering me. We're almost done with this. Okay. This is going to be my shaded side. Over here. Oh, she's kicking. She's boxing. I love her. I do a lot of little, no, fur baby pet, fur baby. This is why I could do a sip and paint, but I could not sit and paint. I would gladly come to your establishment and do your venue and do one for you, but I could not do one. That's that dog. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm going to have to use my voice. No, ma'am. No. 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 No, ma'am. Oh, mercy. Guys, okay. Woo, I got to hurry to get her. I've got to take care of this poor little baby. Okay, so here, that's all I'm going to do for that. Guys, I really like that. Okay, so inside this face, I'm going to do just a hint, just a little hint of some stems. I can't even think. She's got me so wackadoodled. Okay, to make a brown, if you make an orange with your yellow and red and then put a little blue in there, you get a good little rusty brown. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a hint of that in there for our little stems. I'm wiping this brush off. Now she's pitching a fit over there. I'm wiping this brush off, and I'm just going to give that an illusion of a little glare right there. Guys, we didn't even do any leaves with this. Let's see, I have 21 minutes. Let me put the leaf in. Woo, mercy. You know how you were when you were a young mother? And the kids would be like, Mama, 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 Mama. That's what we've had today with that little precious little pup. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little leaf, an imaginary leaf. Now that is going to be it's going to be dark on one side, where the light's not hitting it. And these hydrangea leaves, they're pretty large. They're a pretty large leaf. So I am making that kind of large. And I still want it to be kind of an abstract, because I really like that. I don't know what's happening to me. I do a lot of realistic things, but it's fun to go abstract. Okay, so we're knocking this thing out today. Okay, so there's another little leaf. That's 2. Where else do we need one? Up here somewhere peeping out a little bit. Let's see. Maybe one right here. That's our little pup. I love that y'all are hearing that, because, guys, this is my life. And it's, I get accused of being too joyful. But you know what? You have to be. It's okay. It's okay. It is. I like it. It's, to me, it's like a reminder that, everybody is real. We are all real here. We are real at the Purple Guinea. Okay. I'm putting a little darkness under there now. A little more dark there. There's us a number 3 leaf. Where else do we need one? Right there, maybe. Little one picking out. Okay, let me get a little light. I'm just going to turn that brush. I can't do a painting without swirling that brush. Oh, there she goes. Things are falling. She's got the broom. Sweep it up, Gracie. Sweep it. Okay. This may be the best video yet, guys, because of the interaction with the dog. Okay, so I'm twirling that brush to give some little highlights, just wherever I'm feeling it. Okay. And it's going to be a little darker down at this bottom, so let's do a little dark down there. Okay, guys, I'm not even going to go in and put centers, but you could. Well, I could do one and show you how to do a little center. Just go in and put little centers. Just touch with whatever's on your brush right in the center, or what might look like a center here and there. And in this case, I have a little light yellow on this brush, you know, in the centers of those hydrangeas. I can shift from serious to silly in record speed, guys. Woo! That's the fun part of being a winger. Okay. Oh, we didn't hit that one. Okay, guys. There is our hidden gem today. I probably have held my mouth open painting the whole time. And if I did, that's okay too, because we are real here. Guys, I enjoyed doing this today so much with y'all. I do hope you join us again. Share me with your friends. And don't be afraid, it's only paint. But more importantly, we are all just walking one another home. I enjoyed it. See y'all next time. Bye-bye from the Purple Guinea Art Studio.